From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Good evening and welcome to the special edition of Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Quentin Walker. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, how innovation impacts our lives, from apps that keep us connected to our neighborhoods to new technology helping the visually impaired.
And there are all sorts of apps that keep you informed about what's happening in your neighborhood, but how accurate are they at letting you know what's really happening?
Cronkite News reporter Isabella Holsizer talked to Valley Police as well as psychologists to see how these devices can affect users.
Apps like Nextdoor and Neighbors allow users to be alerted when crime is going on in their area. Some rely on posting and others rely on videos that can be uploaded via users. When scrolling on the Nextdoor app, a majority of posts include friendly neighborhood banter, lost and found dogs, street closures, and fun events occurring in the area. But one specific type of post that always seems to add gloom to the conversation is crime.
Nextdoor is local only, so you have to live in that city, you have to be signed up.
So with the Nextdoor app, people feel especially safe because they're building this online community.
More and more Americans are jumping on the Neighborhood Watch bandwagon.
According to USA Today, more than 3.4 million recording devices were expected to be sold last year.
With the popularity of these apps and devices growing, experts say so is the paranoia.
We think the world kind of revolves around us and we're very focused on ourselves. So when they see crime, they put themselves in the victim's place. They think it's going to happen to them.
When it comes to crime, there's perception of crime, and then there's the actual numbers itself.
According to the Arizona Department of Public Safety, overall crime rates have decreased by 2%, and theft specifically has decreased by about 2,000 offenses. And while it may seem that these incidents are all around you, just be sure to check the location to see exactly where it is.
A trip to the emergency room usually involves stress, time, and a lot of questions. How quickly will you see a doctor, get your test results, or hear a diagnosis? Banner Health is trying to make that process a little less stressful. Delaney White explains how the hospital is focused on innovation.
Banner has created an innovation group with people from across different fields in order to make the patient experience better.
So the overall goal of the Banner Innovation Group and innovation holistically at Banner is to truly deliver upon our mission, which is to make healthcare easier so that life can be better. And the way in which we do that is through thinking about the patient experience from a completely new and different angle.
The Innovation Group is made up of a team of 15 people that work in fields from engineering to communications. Jeff Johnson, Vice President of Digital Business and Innovation at Banner, says the group has already helped clear up some of the confusion that comes with a trip to the ER.
Oftentimes when a customer comes into, or a patient comes into an emergency room, it's overwhelming. It's a stressful time in their life. They're concerned. There's a lot going on that they don't know about, and we've created a chat bot that sort of is a digital assistant that guides them through that. It's not to replace any of the skilled humans and clinicians in the emergency room, but it's sort of a companion that's giving them added information about what to expect next, what's going on behind the scenes, and so they feel involved in their care.
We wanted to really open up the lines of communication and provide extreme transparency. And as such, we created a whole new way of communicating with our patients during that experience. And we used a chatbot to do that, and that hasn't really been done in healthcare before.
Johnson also spoke about upcoming projects designed to improve patient care.
Another example that we're just about to introduce to our customers is what we call a digital triage tool. And it's a really smart AI-driven kind of bot that helps the customer better understand the symptoms that they're experiencing.
Another upcoming project uses digital therapeutics to assist expecting mothers in managing their vitals.
This is a digital companion that gives them a way to do blood pressure readings in their own home and have that blood pressure measurement come back to their physician, as well as to give them information on a mobile app as to how to best navigate their pregnancy.
These projects are expected to be available to patients by the end of the year. At the Digital Desk, Delaney White, Cronkite News.
Researchers in Arizona are moving forward in their innovative approaches to medicine and the treatment of cancer.
Cronkite News reporter Mariah Gallegos spoke with the founders of one of the newest treatments for recurrent brain tumors. Mariah?
On average, patients had to wait nearly 3 to 4 weeks before undergoing external radiation therapy to address remaining brain tumor cells, but a new product can change that.
Treating brain tumors is a moving target, I would say. There's always new techniques.
And the newest breakthrough is the gamma tile, developed by GT Medical Technologies in Tempe, a square collagen tile that releases doses of radiation over a period of time to targeted areas in the brain.
Then you put the tiles in around the tumor bed. The tumor bed's like a little cavity where the tumor was, and in that cavity are the edges where the tumor was, and that's where there can be residual tumor cells. And those are the cells you want to kill.
Dr. John Winabo at Banner Neurological Institute is the first neurosurgeon to use the gamma tile technology in Arizona. He says, depending on how aggressive a tumor is, it can't always be fixed permanently, but the goal with using the tiles are to prevent a tumor from developing again for a long period of time.
Much higher quality of life for the patient. It goes to work immediately before any residual tumor cells have a chance over 3 to 4 weeks to reestablish themselves. And it's a highly lethal dose, in fact, up to 2.5 times the energy within a small space than you could achieve from external sources.
GT Medical Technologies CEO Matt Likens says the gamma tiles can replace the need for external radiation therapy while also preserving healthy brain tissue.
That's what gamma tile provides, more months of tumor-free existence than the current standard of care.
Gamma tile is one of only 7 treatments for glioblastomas, which is the brain cancer that Senator John McCain had, approved by the FDA in the past 30 years. At the digital desk, Mariah Gallegos, Cronkite News.
New tonight, an improvement in a type of eyeglasses developed at the University of Arizona is being used to help the visually impaired.
Cronkite News reporter Delaney White is joining us now to explain how.
This innovation to the new model of the glasses has improved not only the vision, but the quality of life for its users. Professor Hong Hua worked with the company Esight in order to improve the newest model of the product, Esight 3.
I have macular degeneration. I believe it's the leading cause of blindness in the world, actually. There is no cure. I have no central vision. So if I was to look at you without Esight, if I was looking at the computer, I wouldn't see your face at all.
Gary Foster is just one of 1.8 million Americans over the age of 40 who are suffering from macular degeneration, a condition which impairs central vision. But with new technology partially developed by University of Arizona professor Hong Hua, he is now able to see straight on.
I have always been interested in using technology that we develop in the lab to do something that can help people.
Professor Hong Hua and her student Jason Kuhn worked together to develop a high-resolution, high-performance eyepiece that goes into the Esight glasses. The eyepiece helps to project a high-quality image from a very small macro display, according to Hua. The image quality provided by this eyepiece is a new achievement. This innovation is helping Esight users see more clearly, especially when it comes to facial recognition.
When I finally got my turn, she stood in front of me and she said, "What do you see?" And I looked at her and I said, "I can see your face." And she started to cry. And I looked all around the room and I said, "I can see everybody's face."
For people with the low vision, typically they either cannot see small details or they cannot see low contrast information. So the Esight hardware is going to take the pictures and then they softly enhance the picture.
When asked about his vision while wearing the glasses, Gary said it is comparable to a high-definition television.
If you're watching a newscast on a high-resolution television with your normal vision, you're seeing vibrant colors, you're seeing everything, and it's just beautiful, right? It's almost like as if the person is right in front of you. I'm viewing my whole world the way you're viewing that television.
Technology seems to be coming in handy with everything these days, even things you may not expect. Cronkite News reporter Andrew Christensen explains what it's doing for the visually impaired.
For general overview, blank.
1050 intermediate.
VoiceOver, one of the advances used by people with vision problems to help them with technology. The Arizona Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired teaches its students how to use assistive technology to help them brush up on their computer skills.
For computers, we have screen readers, which convert text to audible speech. And we have screen magnifiers that allow the user to control the size and the contrast of the display on the monitor.
The ACBVI also uses Braille assistive technology on laptops that students are able to practice on at home.
You know, they're not afraid to go into the interface of the software and be able to access the menu list or, you know, vital information.
According to the National Federation of the Blind, Arizona is in the top 25% of the nation with the most amount of visually impaired people. The ACBVI is attempting to change that through its Desktop Support Technician program, which aims to help students work in IT-related fields.
If you think about your activities from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed at nighttime, it's like how many of those things would you be able to accomplish if you suddenly lost your vision? So we try and address whatever skills the individual needs in terms of accomplishing that.
There are also cooking lessons that teach students how to use talking appliances. Everyday skills that students say help them bond with fellow students.
It's one of the best parts about ACBVI to me is the social environment, because you get to be around, a lot of times people that are blind or visually impaired, including myself, don't get around other blind or visually impaired people enough.
And in addition to buses, rideshare, and light rail, the City of Phoenix launched a new mode of transportation today.
Cronkite News reporter Mariah Gallegos attended a ribbon-cutting ceremony in downtown. Mariah?
Electric scooters are now being used as a way to get around in the downtown Phoenix area, but not everyone is happy about it.
Some say they're dangerous. Others find them beneficial and fun to use. Either way, 3 companies were granted permits to roll out rental scooters across the downtown Phoenix area.
Bird, Lime, and Spin that will be participating in this pilot program.
Street Transportation Assistant Director Brianna Velez says a key part of the pilot program is the evaluation of the scooters over the next 6 months.
We understand there may be growing pains and opportunities for improvement throughout this pilot program, but the Street Transportation Department is committed to meeting your needs and working through all of those issues.
Phoenix Councilman Michael Nowakowski says the scooters are meant to help inner city congestion.
One of the things that we hear is that we have a problem with trying to get around in downtown Phoenix. So we brought in the bikes, and now we have the e-scooters.
However, ASU students who go to school in downtown, like those in Tempe, will not be allowed to ride the scooters on campus.
It will still be a no-ride zone. However, there will be various parking locations close to the campus, so you're able to park the scooter close and then walk to your class.
To rent the scooters, riders must be 18 or older and have a driver's license. Live in the studio, Mariah Gallegos, Cronkite News.
Driving a garbage truck isn't always a job everyone is lining up for. So to help find drivers, the City of Phoenix decided to grow their own by starting an apprentice program. Cronkite News reporter Peter Gong explains how it all works. Peter?
I talked to John Lavelle, who is one of the success stories from the program. He graduated and now works as a garbage truck driver.
I was very glad that I graduated.
John Lavelle works as a garbage truck driver collecting garbage for the City of Phoenix. He inspects the garbage truck and gets ready to drive a route to collect garbage. While it's an everyday job for Lavelle, he was able to get the job through the city's year-long solid waste equipment operator apprentice program.
It was intense, you know, every day is different, but this program gets you that skill to, you know, go through it without any problems.
Through the program, apprentices get training to prepare for the job like operating a garbage truck. They are paid $16.09 per hour during the program, and once they complete the program and start as a garbage truck driver, they get paid $17.74 per hour.
They go through a classroom setting first and they gain their permit. They learn about the road and heavy-duty equipment.
According to Stellar, the city's apprentice program has successfully retained most of its graduates. The Center for American Progress finds that programs like the city's apprentice program are successful. It helps retain skilled workers and improve the work quality. The program also addresses the problem that the city faces when it comes to filling in their job vacancies.
We were struggling with the private sector to attract drivers, and this program has helped us, build from within.
As a result, workers including John Lavelle, who went through the program, are satisfied.
The doors are open, it's a great opportunity.
The city of Phoenix is looking to recruit more people for the apprenticeship program starting around January of next year. Live in the studio, Peter Gahn, Cronkite News.
You could help with the current shortage of foster families in the U.S. Cronkite News reporter Andrew Christensen lets us know how. Andrew, what's the main cause for the shortage and how can people help?
I went to Child Crisis Arizona Center in Mesa to learn about how they're going beyond their usual marketing techniques to attract people of all backgrounds who might want to become foster parents. Singing, a regular morning routine for kids at Child Crisis Arizona Center in Mesa. The organization offers an early start program but has also made it its mission to reach out to potential foster families due to a shortage in Arizona.
So what we're looking for are individuals typically over 21 years old, and if you are willing to open up your heart and your home and you can provide the basic needs and are self-sufficient, we are interested in talking to you.
According to Child Crisis Arizona, they are licensing an average of 7 families per month, while in 2017, they were averaging 10 per month. When reaching out to families, the organization hopes that age is just a number.
It's not your traditional, we have infants and we'd like to foster infants. There are so many teenagers in the foster care system.
The qualifications don't stop at straight couples or even married people. Child Crisis Arizona takes in foster parents that are single, LGBTQ, or come from different religions and backgrounds, preparing them through classes.
They're in person and online to receive the training that's necessary to kind of think about all the different scenarios.
One way Child Crisis Arizona hopes to reach people, word of mouth, through current foster families like Allison Hurtado.
There's so much that you can do for a child, and it doesn't take someone extra special to do that.
Child Crisis Arizona hosts orientations to give potential families a real-world fostering experience and helps foster kids through counseling aimed at helping them develop day-to-day skills. In the Broadcast Center, Andrew Christensen, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Department of Education has hired their first ever Associate Superintendent of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. The position is intended to promote equity in Arizona schools. Delaney White has more information about this position. Delaney?
I spoke with Erica Maxwell about her new position to find out what her goals are and how she plans to help students.
Well, what I have seen is just the implementation of student voice. And I cannot say that's a direct result of my position, but it is a direct result of the leadership of Superintendent Hoffman.
When Superintendent of Public Instruction Kathy Hoffman came into office, she saw equity as an issue in the state's education system. She decided to create the position of Superintendent of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. Former educator Erica Maxwell has filled the position and spoke about what it means.
This position is not just a title, it is about the work that as a collective, really connecting people to how we can collectively and collaboratively impact outcomes. It is not just something that was started and implemented just so certain groups can be quieted. It really is about doing the work and making sure that we improve the outcome and the negative narratives that those marginalized and minimized students of color have really felt in this state.
Some of Maxwell's responsibilities include efforts to better serve underrepresented students, like working with other agencies on new initiatives and possibly even legislation to be more inclusive. She also participates in many of the state superintendent's task force groups that focus on issues of equity. Roxana Valdez, student advisor serving on the Latinx Advisory Council, spoke about the position's impact and why she thinks its creation was necessary.
I think it is necessary to have it now. I think it's necessary that the students of Arizona, like Hispanic students, like all students, like Latin students, all of us know that like things are happening, things are changing, and they're doing it because someone believes in us, and like somebody out there is like looking out for us, and it's just an honor to be a part of that.
Maxwell also hopes this type of position could be an example for other schools across the country.
We want people to come to Arizona to say, look at what they implemented, look at the outcomes, the improvement, and really be a model of what can happen across this nation.
Maxwell has more than 25 years of experience in education. She was an administrator in the Chandler Unified School District and taught at both Chandler Gilbert Community College and ASU. She was also an instructional coach at Skyline Gila River, a nonprofit charter school serving the Gila River Indian community. In the broadcast center, Delaney White, Cronkite News.
Now, reading history from a book isn't quite as personal as learning from it from someone who has experienced it firsthand. Cronkite News reporter Andrew Christensen joins us in studio. Andrew, you got to speak with an organization that lets students interview veterans. What was that like?
It really put me in the shoes of the students that are a part of the Veterans Heritage Project, because I also got to interview a veteran and see what kinds of experiences he went through and how it impacted him.
Harris Island.
Vietnam veteran Phil Yin laughs as he looks at his guideline book for the Marine Corps from boot camp, reminiscing about his time in the military during the 1960s. In his home, military treasures speak to what he learned during his service.
One of the things I think the Marine Corps taught me is discipline. And the Marine Corps has 3 words, actually: adapt, improvise, and overcome. And I use those 3 words in my professional career all the time.
Yin's experiences were captured by the Veterans Heritage Project, an organization that allows middle school, high school, and college students to interview veterans. Their work is published annually in books entitled Since You Asked. There are currently 15 volumes and 30 school partners.
And their individual stories really capture what is the cost of war. It's a lot beyond just words on a page or numbers. It's beyond that, and students learn that historical events they're nuanced.
One of the students who interviewed Yin was Jake Sonnenberg, who was so inspired by his experience with VHP in high school that he started a chapter at ASU.
It's those kinds of stories that really stick with me, as well as the lessons of leadership. And I think you get more lessons from the stories after the conflict, after their service.
Interviews conducted by students are archived at the Library of Congress. Executive Director of VHP, Michelle DeMuro, says students are improving their writing and researching skills as well as their confidence.
And you realize what they went through, what they overcame. That student then looks at their own life and realizes, my problems aren't that bad. I can work through this.
Yin says being interviewed brought up a lot of feelings he had been holding back, and that he is now understood better because he was able to share his story through VHP.
And I think all the schools, whatever town you go, should have organizations like VHP. I think it's an excellent vehicle for the students to learn about history, to learn about the different wars. Before you know it, if you don't capture that information, it's going to be lost. And what better way to capture it than have a student one-on-one with a veteran that experienced that.
VHP also has a speaker series where veterans talk to students about their war experiences, in addition to a scholarship program that has awarded more than $100,000.
This October, schools and organizations are raising awareness for National Bullying Prevention Month.
Cronkite News reporter Mariah Gallegos visited Gila Bend Library, where they found a unique way to promote kindness.
While students are enjoying the fall break, some spent their time using paint to decorate rocks to share their ideas of kindness with others.
Okay, I'm almost done. I just need to write the word kind.
Students gathered around a table, sharing different colors of paint.
You want to use mine?
To decorate and write positive messages on rocks.
My rank is to not tell no one like bad things, like bad words, or say like whatever they get hurt with, good vibes.
Library teacher Alexis Fernandez wanted to find a way for the kids to join in on National Bullying Prevention Month.
Bullying is kind of like, it's a big thing everywhere, you know, and I feel like especially in smaller communities, it can be easier to think, you know, we're just joking around, but joking around can affect people and affect kids and their feelings.
And Atsi knows how those jokes can really affect someone.
You have to be kind, like people, like I've seen that they get killed for how much hurt they got hurt.
The rocks are a part of a national project known as Kindness Rocks. Student Raiden Mendoza hopes people put their words into action.
Showing other people how they should be treating everybody in public, and to treat other people right and don't hurt anybody's feelings.
And while each student writes their own message,
you need to be kind.
What they want students to take away is,
we don't have to be best friends with everyone, but you should be kind to everyone regardless.
The library teachers are going to spread the decorated rocks throughout the local park with hopes that someone will find them on a day they need just a few encouraging words. In the Broadcast Center, Mariah Gallegos, Cronkite News.
That's it for this special edition of Cronkite News. Thank you for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.